Hello and welcome to MCL Season 2, Round 7, the penultimate round of the season. Very much. I am here with VTO as always, and yeah, so the championship is going to be between Craig and Jack, it looks like, unless Finley can pull off a miracle.
I believe you can get 3 laps around here, so I think that's what some of the guys might be trying today. In qualifying, we've got 8, we should have 10, but we're missing Boosted and Nelson. I don't know where they are. But obviously it's the end of the game, this usually happens, the numbers always seem to reduce down. But yeah, hopefully next game the number will be back up to 12 and above, as always. But yeah, end of the game, it's obviously reducing in numbers. But yeah, 2 rounds to go. We've still got a championship on, and I'm looking forward to it still.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly get up the championship standings before they do the lap, if I can. So where are we? Do excuse my voice goes a little bit because I think I've got a cold coming on after being at Donington. Let's see. So Jack leads the championship by 2 points over Craig, who leads 2 points over Shea, and Finley is 31 behind. So with Shea not being here, it does mean that he's basically out of the running, and Finley needs to win all the remaining races and hope that Jack and Finley finish off Jack and Craig finish off the podium in every single race, which can happen, but it's unlikely. Yeah. As all the riders are now just starting their... In my mind, lap times are what, 121, something like
that? Yep. Everyone here is going to get 3 laps apart from the person who's ever last is on track. I can't see this right now. It is... It's Jack. So everyone's going to get 3 laps here apart from Jack.
And Jack has been the rider this season who's been the most inconsistent in qualifying. But we shall see if...
He'll probably be the one who needs more laps.
Yeah, but he has fixed in the past couple of rounds, so we'll see if he can continue that on. So into the penultimate corner, quite a number of people are now approaching the final sector.
Yep. I'm watching Nick and Sean's behind here. Nick's towing Schmoes around here.
So Craig now comes up to the line.
Very early on the brakes.
It's an 18.7, so my lap times were way off the mark. I think I'm going off realistic times, but Nick goes first. Schmoes goes second. Now Aaron Jacko's coming up to the line. Finley goes into first. A whole 1 second faster
Jack's
than...
on 3 red sectors here.
Aaron goes third. Sorry, Jack, where is he? He's coming into the final sector. Now Howling goes sixth. Howling's been spending too much time at Aston in real life than at Laguna, so that's probably why his first laps aren't going to be amazing.
Here comes Jack, it's all right towards the end. Schmoes, Finley both red sector 1, and across the line it's half a second clear. Almost 6 tenths, and then a second to his teammate.
So that is pretty much, I'd say, the front row secured for Jack.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, and Finley's completely messed up. Turn 6 has gone to the outside curb and ran off the track.
Yep, he should still get another lap here though, so no problem for him. Jack's improving furthermore, and he's going to be the only rider who gets 2 laps, and this still might be 2 laps. Oh, and as I say that, he's gone down on the inside curb. So that's his session done, but he's got a very flat time in, so he shouldn't be too stressed.
So they come up to the line.
For the session.
Nick improves and jumps to 4th. Schmoes goes, second. Schmoes goes to 4th. My brain's all a bit backwards today, as you can probably tell.
If you remember as well, Schmoes set a good qualifying lap here when we last came here. He was on the front row. I think he qualified 2nd or 3rd.
Oh, Aaron's getting in the way of Q Gamer. He's just completely yeah, and he's gone down in the process. Just Aaron did not. I think Aaron was slowing down to try and set up the last lap and just completely blocked Q Gamer there.
Craig's on 3 red sectors, but he's only in the 2nd sector.
I'm suggesting there's some lag going on there. I do think Aaron needs to be some quick investigation on Aaron, because I do think he did impede Q Gamer there, causing the crash, and therefore miss his next lap.
Actually, I can look back on the stream. Tell me the
Yeah.
minute on the stream and I'll...
It would be like a minute ago.
Okay.
Which is like, it's just as
I don't know if
the
Craig can hear
session
us,
stops.
We'll see what Craig lap is here. I'll let it go
Yeah.
because we don't know. It might just be a visual glitch. But if it's miles quicker, then I'll have to take it off him.
I do think it's a glitch where your bike just centre, it lags to the back sector of the track.
Yeah.
But I can't see it affecting the actual lap time.
He goes
And he
to
jumps to
line
third.
and yeah, he goes to third. Yeah, that's fine.
So it's Jack Berman on
So
pole.
Pramac 1-2.
Yeah, Nick jumping second, Craig's third, and Finley fourth. Schmoy's in fifth, Aaron in sixth, Q Gamer seventh, and Howling in eighth.
Yep, a very strong qualifying there by the Pramac boys, especially Jack, almost with a half a second advantage. And for once, we will not have to restart the lobby.
Yeah, for once.
That's great news.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, I've just seen that thing with Aaron. I'm looking at it again now. The lag on the stream is lovely.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I can't see it clearly. We'll, I'm sure we can get some footage of Aaron at the end, and that can be looked at afterwards. But yeah, that could be a penalty coming as well.
So Jack's got half a second near enough on everybody else.
Yeah, he did say prior to this that he enjoys this, enjoys this track. So we'll see what he can do.
Momentum is firmly in his corner, but it doesn't take much for that momentum to swing the other way. So it's going to be important for Craig to try and take the lead into turn 2, as it is. But we'll have to just wait and see, and maybe some strategies are played to make sure you get a better grid spot for the following race.
Yep, and they're all ready. So we will go now. Only 8 of them on the grid for this sprint race, the least we've had all season. I was boosted join, so he'll be able to join for the main race. He's a little bit late, but...
So Jack activates his rider device, trying to see if everybody else has or not. So you expect the first corner is going to be a bit tricky on the side of the tyre, but he's got more open line compared to the rest. Long way in the rough.
Away we go.
And you can tell Jack's probably got the only one with the rider device down as he's cleared off at the front. He's just got to survive through this first corner, which he has done, and he's safely through into turn 2 to go. All these big collisions between all the riders. Oh, and who's that then? That's Howling down.
How did I miss the whole... How did this...
So there's no go down into turn 4.
Oh,
and
and Nick's at the inside of Aaron. And they've both gone down.
So it's a front 2. Oh, and Jack's just had to set the bike up into turn 5. As they now go up towards turn 6. The 2 championship leaders, first and second. Oh, Jack's a bit wide. As they now climb up the Rahal straight, heading in towards the corkscrew. And Jack again onto the dirt. Oh, and he's completely blown the corkscrew as well.
Ooh. Close
So
to Jack, they almost crashed on the inside curb.
So Jack just making a few mistakes here and there. But Craig just not able to quite take advantage of him just yet. Into the final corner, the door's open. Oh, there's a trying to make contact, but Craig just can't quite find a way through. So as we end the first lap, it is going to be Jack leading his championship rival Craig onto the second of 8 laps.
Oh, as he clips the gravel down the outside, Jack, he's going to run wide. He's going to allow his championship rival to send it up the inside. And he's not going to quite do it. If Craig was to win this and Jack finishes second, it would mean that Craig would be on joint points with Jack. And I think Craig would be winning on countback. So.
Oh, and Craig almost goes up the inside of the side by side, now heading towards turn 5. With Jack's got the inside line, but Craig's going to try and turn it underneath him. Oh, and Schmoyes has really outbroke himself there, and that might allow Finley to no, he can't quite. So he just maybe take third place.
But they're both in good position if these two make contact in front.
Yeah, and if they keep battling as well, it's going to keep them in the fight. But Jack now got just 2.5 tenths to lead into the corkscrew to go for the second time of this race. And that was a lot better.
Oh, and Jack almost lost the front then. It looked like he did lose it.
That might have helped him because he's gained the gaps. He gained about 3 tenths through there. Yeah, so I think Craig might have just.
Back again.
I think Jack might have nailed it. And Craig just might have just made a small error And now
The top
Schmoy's-
four are all on 2 track limit warnings though, so need to be careful. And remember,
Yeah,
it's
there is
3
no
second
long lap
penalties
here.
around here. Schmoy's already got 1 for the race though, due to the last round he raced in at MotoGP. But hopefully this week is more clean, otherwise he could potentially face a race ban, which he does not want.
So it looks
Craig
like-
runs really wide again.
Yeah, he's wide. Schmoy's going to go up the inside, and Schmoy's moves into second place.
And Howden C just taking the fastest lap here, so
He'll be kicking himself for the. Well, I don't know if his crash. Probably guessing the crash wasn't his fault, but he'll be ruining the crash he had. And it seems like Jack, after maybe the first lap being a bit nervous, the nerves have calmed down. He's gone to
Craig
rhythm.
now getting stuck behind Schmoy, needs to make a clean manoeuvre here.
Yeah, and I wonder where Finley's allegiance lies.
He's gonna go for it here, up the inside. He sends it.
He's going to go wide, surely. He does.
Yeah.
Smudgery takes the place.
And
Now
that
will
might allow
Finley attack?
through if he's not careful. Is it? Is he gonna go for it?
He's on the inside, but he just can't quite make
He's
it
thought
through.
About it. Yeah, not quite. Schmoy's onto a wide line. Finley almost tries to send it, but backs out of it quite late. And these 3 are scrapping, and it's just helping Jack get away.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds now. That's just a very nice, comfortable gap he can control.
Oh, is Finley late on the brakes? He's going to try and take a more sweeping line and gets the cutback. Craig's on the outside curve here. And can he get a run into turn 2? But can Craig get it on Schmoy's too? Oh, Finley's a massive bobble on the rear there, going for the gravel. That was really strange. And now Schmoy's has taken the line Craig took from last time.
Oh, Craig's down!
Craig's gone! No! It's so unfortunate. Schmoy's, I didn't see it properly, but I think Schmoy's, he was on his racing line. Craig comes back, but just a merge of lines when Schmoy's rejoined the track there, that will need to be looked at again afterwards.
Yeah, Finley now moves into second place.
Rejoined the track. And that's an unfortunate crash of Craig there. Nothing he could do.
Meanwhile, fastest man on track, Howling, now moves into 4th place. But that's going to be whether Craig can get back inside the top 4.
Craig can still definitely get a top 4 here. 100%. He just needs to stay on it, not lose focus.
I mean, at the moment, Howling, well, I think Howling might be a problem to overtake, but I think Q Gamer should be not easy, but doable.
These 2 are both within reaching distance of the reigning champion. And yeah, he is closing in on them.
And he's through on Q Gamer for 5th.
Yep, nicely done.
Now the question is, can he close in on Howling, who is the fastest man on track? We'll see if any of the top 3 are able to... Oh, no, Q Gamer setting it on Craig here. No, he can't. And Finley takes the fastest lap.
Yep,
So can Finley apply pressure to his brother and keep his
Nick
title
here
hopes
on
alive?
Q Gamer, he's going to send it. Yeah, a lot of people are running really wide at turn 2.
Yeah, I think it's the best line, but it's not a very good racing line, because if you go that wide, you've got such a gaping gap.
And that's exactly how Craig crashed.
So if it stays like this, Jack will score 10 points, Craig will score 4 points. So that'll increase the gap to 8.
8. But it's not over, this will be 3 races after this.
Yeah, always at the
Time
inside.
is Nick. My god, that was close. Now he's going to send it. Oh my!
He's on the gravel.
And Aaron's down again. It's not going too well for him. But
They will start from pole.
At the front.
And Craig's now through on the inside of Q Gamer through the rainy curve. But Q Gamer sending it back on the inside of the rear bank corner. Oh, there's 2 Oh!
Oh!
And Q Gamer's got really lucky there with the respawn.
Oh, and Nick's high-sided on the exit, on the rejoin. It just goes from bad to worse for him.
Meanwhile, out in front, Jack controlling the gap, but Finley, he's not doing too bad. The gap's it's just hovering at 1.3, 1.4 seconds, so he's got the pace to win, but unfortunately,
he needs to apply the pressure.
Yeah, they just didn't get the start, and he got held up in the battle with Craig and Schmoy's. And Jack's now just in the position where all he's got to do is just make sure he hits all his markers. And
yeah, considering Craig crashed, he's actually still, he's not lost too much time from it. He's still there and thereabouts.
And Craig is starting to claw at the gap towards Howling. This might be a last lap hurrah between the 2 of them.
Ooh,
and Craig taking a lot of inside curve at turn 6. I keep thinking the front's going to fold on him.
That's a bit scary.
But the gap is now down to 3/10.
Oh, was Howling's wide. He's ruined that. And can Craig get the run? As Howling runs a really tight line, you have to run wider. That might allow Craig to get on the inside, but no, it doesn't. Not quite.
I think it's going to have to be a home straight into turn 1/2 job.
Maybe into the final corner.
I do. I think
Backs off.
with Howling's
wide.
with Howling's history of late braking, I think it would open the gap up to an overtake, and it has done. So Craig now moves to 4th place. That's an extra point in his way.
Yeah.
So that means the gap's now 7 points. So we're on the penultimate lap. The top 4 are all Ducatis. But one of them's a GP23 in Schmoyes, who had a bit much, quite a poor, after a really strong opening round, it really
missed a few
plateaued.
rounds as well.
Yeah.
But he's going strong here. He's on 4 warnings though, as Howling runs quite wide. And Craig's on 4 warnings too, so both of those riders need to be careful here.
Jack on 4 warnings as well.
So all of these, and Jack could actually drop to P3 right now, so he needs to be super careful.
He's in the best spot, but
between 4 points if he gets a long lap.
He's got to be careful. Well, he's going through the penultimate corner, and we'll start the final lap.
I'll tell you what, Schmoy's got some good pace here. He's not been dropped by Finley at all, really. I mean, the gap opened up, and he's kept it out of the gap, and the same gap to Jack really for a while now. As he may actually make, as I say, it makes a mistake out the final corner there. That's life.
So we go. It's the last lap. Jack's just got to keep it within the track limits, and he will win.
Finley now on 4 warnings.
Pressure's on for all of the top 4.
Yeah. One mistake and it's going to completely ruin their race almost.
We're already into the second sector now, into turn 5. I'd say once Jack gets through the corkscrew, that's when he can fully relax.
Yeah, just don't get a warning through these next sequence of corners. It's so easy to do. And
now we go into the corkscrew. The gap's now 8/10. Jack's taking this nice and easy, making sure he doesn't make any silly mistakes. Finley's continuing to push, trying to pressure his brother into a mistake.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be.
Into the penultimate corner, and just one more to go, the 90-degree left. It's looking all dandy and clean for Jack Berman. He's a championship leader, and he's going to extend his lead back to 7 points out in front.
Yep. And if we'll navigate the final few corners and Jack wins, adds another 10 points to his tally. Finley in second, and Schmoy picking up his first podium of the season, I want to say. I'll check
I think he got 2/3 at the start, from what I remember.
Okay. No, that is his first podium of the season.
Oh, that'll be his first podium since his victory in Catalunya.
Yeah, indeed.
So Jack Berman takes victory. Finley quite a bit faster, but he was second. Yeah. Schmoy's third, Craig fourth, Howling fifth, Aaron sixth, Q Gamer seventh, and Nick jumping in eighth. So looking at those fastest laps, we could have a 6 or 7 rider battle for the lead here.
Yeah. Well, Nick's going to be starting on pole. He will be on pole because Booster wasn't there, so he'll start from last anyway. But yeah, Nick, that's not bad pace, and if he can take the lead away, he could be definitely the favourite to win this. Just the crashes there that cost him. Yeah, Booster will have to start from last still. Because he was not here for the sprint. So 50% now. As on a boosted thing, I need to do rider. Go. Right, we're ready to go, and it's 16 laps.
Longest race of the season.
Fun. These 16 laps might feel like 16 laps of hell, and I do not blame them. It is a very frustrating track, and with the riders, a lot of the riders they're getting 4 warnings. Chance of getting a long lap here are quite likely, I would say.
Yep, it's
Moyes has got
so
an additional
easy.
long lap anyway, and
It's cloudy
weather this time. So that does mean there'll be no more wet races for the rest of the season, because the last round is Qatar. So that, obviously there's no chance of rain there, unfortunately. They don't have to deal with that anymore on this game anymore. They can just focus on dry weather. So then, Jack will start not at last place because Boosted wasn't here for the sprint, so he actually won't start in last. Craig starts higher up, so that's going to benefit him more for this start, but he is in the melee of it, or he's right in the middle of the grid, which definitely sometimes isn't favourable. And Nick Jumper starts in pole position, who had the second fastest lap, so if he can take the lead at the end of lap 1, you would possibly say that he is the favourite to win this race, as long as he doesn't drop it.
I mean, if any of them can just take the lead, get a couple of laps of clean air. I mean, we saw Aaron Jacko in Le Mans. He had a very handy lead. He was controlling the pace well. He made one mistake, and unfortunately, instead of just accepting a warning and carrying on, he tried to not get a warning, and that caused him to go down. So it's I think it's just be very important for the riders to know if they are going to make a mistake, how to minimise the damage from it, whether that be just accepting a warning or just avoiding the crash, but we'll soon see.
Yep, just waiting for Nick and Boosted, and we will go for the penultimate round of the season.
So for Finley to stay alive in this championship, he has to win, and I believe Jack has to finish out at 5th or lower.
Yep. So then, 9 riders this race. It's Nick on pole for probably the first time this season, followed by Q Gamer and Aaron Jacko in 3rd.
So we got the lights run 16 laps ahead for these riders, the longest race of the season. And they're off. And that was very, very poor reaction times from Nick Jumping, but really good from Q Gamer and Aaron. And it looks like the two pros are going to take the lead into turn 1. And Nick Jumping's all the way back down to 7th. And Craig's got a really good start.
Yep, he's up to 2nd place.
But it's actually, Jack's actually got up to 2nd place now somehow. As we go into turn 3 for the first time, Q Gamer's got a very fine lead. Oh, Boost is down. Oh, Craig's down as well.
Craig and Nick, and it's a red flag. That, I don't know what on earth happened there. Someone hit someone and it just all clustered together. We'll see now. Oh, we won't see. But someone would have been given a penalty, it would say at the bottom for the riders. We'll see. But Craig will be fortunate there's a red flag there, because that crash would have not benefited him. But yeah, someone clustered into all of them, and yeah, Craig got collected amongst that.
I think what we're seeing is the difference in... Yeah, I think what we're seeing is the difference in riders who've used the rider device and who have not. And you're seeing all the riders who've got it get really good launches, and they get into turn 1 and the bike's not steering, and they can't brake properly, whereas the riders who haven't are all getting much better acceleration and braking performance into the corner. So,
well, they get another try at it.
They get another go.
That might be why Nick got a bad start. He probably didn't use the right height. So maybe
yeah, but his reaction time anyway was terrible. It was,
okay.
Like, he launched like a good second after the lights went out. But here we go. Lights on again. And they're away. Much better start from Nick Jumping this time. Nobody's got a long lap, it seems like. So, everyone's escaped with penalties, thankfully. Already many warnings been given out, but into turn 2 they go. Lots of people running wide, tight lines. Jack Berman taking a very tight line, but it's going to be Q Game who leads from the front.
Boosted.
Nick Jumping 2nd, Finley's 3rd, Craig's 4th, and Jack's 5th.
Yep. Oh, Jack had a massive slide. I don't know how on earth he's not crashed there.
Yeah, he had a
He's on
massive...
the gravel, but yeah, he should have definitely gone
He
down
got a
there.
massive
Really
smack from the back from somebody.
Yeah. Wow, that was close.
As they all file through now through turn 5. And Q Gamer continues to lead the way. Schmoy's looking up the inside of... that's Aaron there, and Howling trying to get through unboosted.
Yeah,
which he does do.
Howling there, actually.
Yeah. And now we go into the corkscrew for the first time. Nick jumping, looking up the inside.
Unboosted's gone flying into the corner. He's not...
All as soon as the bike go flying at the top of the corkscrew.
He had the biggest stopping I've ever seen in my life, and he's gone flying overhead and straight into the barriers. That was almost impressive.
So, I think this might be the first time in a Division 1 race. Q Gamer leads the way at the end of the first lap.
Yeah. He did well in Mateki. Remember, he got a P2 in the sprint.
And Philly now moves into second place.
Again. And they're all filing through, and they're all really close together right now, the gaps. So,
yeah. It's an 8-rider train.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, look at it. Look at Jack's POV from the back here, and you can just see they're all riding in a line.
Just waiting on the right moment to pounce. And Nick Jumping's trying to go around the outside of Finley. Schmoy's goes up the inside of Aaron, or takes a defensive line against Aaron, either one of the two. As they go into turn 6 now, and Q Gamer still, he's running very defensive lines, and Finley just can't, Finley or Nick have not been able to find a way through on the Trackhouse Aprilia rider as they go into the corkscrew again.
And Nick's
that's a big mistake.
Really wide. He's going to have to cut back.
Aaron's gone down in the background now, and he's avoiding action, and Finley now moves into the lead of the race. So can Finley now put his head down and pull out a gap?
That'll be the goal. Him and Nick both have good pace, so I wouldn't expect probably any of them to get away. They're a very similar pace.
And Jack's 1.3 seconds behind, so I think he might have been held up the most by Aaron's crash. Just about there, Finley fastest lap of the race. He's already picked up 3 warnings, so we're only on to the third lap now.
To go really wide off the track.
And Craig's all over the back of Q Gamer trying to find a way through.
He just can't get through. And he needs to get through sooner rather than later. But he's got 16 laps. Well, he's got 13 more laps, so plenty of time.
Yeah. Laguna's not the easiest circuit to overtake at because the straight's not very long.
Track's very narrow. As well.
Joy is down.
And Schmoy's gone down. Yeah, that was always going to happen.
Schmoy should have just picked up the bike, but he didn't.
And Finley's in the gravel. He's right off the track, and he's lost the lead. He's going to drop down to 3rd place here, potentially 4th. But yeah, big mistake there by Finley.
So this ain't over yet. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jack's closed the gap down to Howling to 0.7 of a second, and Howling's closed the gap down to Q Gamer by quite a bit of a margin as well. So this race ain't run yet, and Nick Jumping 7/10 of a second lead. He was really fast in the sprint, but had a really poor qualifier. Oh no, he had a really. Did he crash? I don't know why. Yeah, he must. Yeah, he got crashed twice. So that's why he was down the order. And he does set the fastest lap of the race as well.
5 rounds ago, if you said to, or like 4 rounds ago, if you said to Jack, "Oh, you'd be leading the championship at this stage by 7 points," he would not have believed you. He was miles out of it, and right now he.
If it stays like this, they'll be tied.
Yeah.
Craig's on 12 points, Jack's on 5.
For a very, very long time.
Yeah,
so
since...
I wonder how he's feeling right now.
I'm trying to remember because he lost the championship pretty much. The championship already lost into last year.
Right now.
No. Craig's got the experience of this situation.
Yep. And Aaron are both down.
His brother's got the experience of going to the last round fight, so I don't think Jack's actually ever been in this situation, so it would just be interesting how he takes it, but he's did alright so far, but he's making the last round very interesting, and at the moment Nick Jumping is just starting to pull away a couple of tenths over Craig.
But we saw his pace in the sprint, it looked good.
We've seen the pass by Nick. Now. Yeah, we've seen the pass by Nick. If he's got the pace to win, and again, at Paul's penultimate round last season at Sepang, he took the lead and cleared off, and nobody saw him. And Aaron's gone.
So you've got 2 championship contenders, both on 3 track limit warnings, so they need to be careful. They've still got to navigate another 11 laps there. And they can only afford 1 mistake. I wouldn't be feeling safe with that number.
Oh,
The
Booster's gone
Aprilia
down.
is having an absolute nightmare. Apart from Q Gamer. He's having a good day. As for the other 2, it's not going so well.
I mean, what, there's still 11 and a half laps to go in this race. Jack can still quite clearly see all the riders in front of him. They're not a million miles away. So,
Nope.
I mean, anyone in the top 6 can still win this race.
Indeed. Just going to see how they approach it. You know, 4 of the top 5 have 3 warnings. Or no, sorry, 6. No, sorry, 5 of the top 6.
And on this lap, Craig's managed to get the gap back down to 0.8 of a second over Nick jumping. So
And all these points are going to be crucial for his championship. He really needs these.
all Q Game has gone really wide at the last corner, and Howling now is going to be sniffing at that 5th place, 4th place even.
As it stands, they will be on equal points going into the final round.
They'll have to work. Oh, and Howling sends it on Q Gamer into turn 2, and he makes it stick. Lovely move there by the Dutchman.
Q Game's going to send up the inside, and
he's
he
down.
just turned into him. I mean, I didn't see it properly, but it just looked like he
I
saw
was
him
on the
when
front.
he
Yeah, I was on the
turned
front
into
camera as well. So I assumed that Q Game was just already behind him, and then I just saw this flash on the left hand side, and Q went down. So
Obviously, I know Howling can't probably see him in that situation, but if you have real ragecraft on there, you should be able to see and anticipate that he's going to cut back on you there, quite obviously. You know, it's
well,
kind of
if
common sense,
it's gonna be like, you know, Schmoyes gets a penalty for
yeah.
Craig's incident, and then
Exactly.
surely Howling's gonna
Yeah.
get one. So it's
Yeah,
gonna have to
yeah,
make sure both
Yeah.
incidents are fairly treated,
Yeah.
whichever decision it may
It's the
go.
same thing. But you
I do
should
believe-
know when someone runs wide like that, you've got to expect the cutback because it's just imminent.
I do believe Howling is running a Miguel Oliveira inspired helmet, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
It is white, but it's like it's hard to tell. It might be, might not be. But so far, Jack now would be leading the championship by 1 singular point after the crash of Q Gamer.
And Craig will know how important this win could potentially be. It's Finley
Finley's
now picked up
got-
a long lap penalty already.
And so
we're
is
not even
Howling.
halfway. Yeah, we're not even halfway into the race. So if they carry on this trajectory, they're on course to take up 2 long laps this race.
Yeah, and this now means Jack inherits 4th place.
Yeah,
And-
Jack's only 1 warning away himself. So and the chance
Yeah.
of him keeping that for 11 lap, 11 lap. No, 9. Sorry,
No,
is unlikely.
laps are ticking very fast. 1 minute, just under 1 minute 20 laps. So it's not actually the shortest lap distance, but it might be the. I'm not sure it might be the shortest
Well,
distance.
Sachsenring's 15 laps, and it's like a second or 2 a lap slower.
Bit quicker. Yeah, so
That's
I think
quicker,
it must
sorry.
be the track must be a shorter distance then,
Yeah.
or it's based off the lap time that they used to do back in 2012,
That would
2013.
make sense. Obviously, they were slower. Craig is closing the gap at the front, and right now he is riding just how he needs to, and he's closing about a 10th or 2 a lap, which is almost the perfect amount, really.
Yeah. And we know that Cray's very good on tyres, so if this does become a who's got the best tyres come the end of the race, you can bet your money that Craig.
Schmoyes his long lap as well because I'm unable to. The game doesn't let me round track rate, doesn't give you a long
You'll
lap.
have to just do it at the end of the race.
Yeah, he did just get a 3-second at the end. But he'll be aware of that, he knows that. He's informed. So.
I'll do a quick
I
check
told him
of
if I
tyres,
can't give it
and
to him, then he'll be giving it
I think
afterwards.
Howley's got a better front tyre than Craig, interestingly enough. Nick Jumping, however, has very distinct worst sidewalls of the tyre.
Whilst we're on the course of tyres, it'd be interesting if they change on the next game in terms
Yeah.
of using soft round everywhere.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I think Nick is going down to first gear at the chicane. I'll need to watch that again next lap, but it looked like he blipped down to first gear at the chicane and like instantly went back up, unless that was just a mistake then.
Could just be a
He went
glitch
down
on
to
the.
about half a,
Yeah, you can't
half
exactly
a
rely on the online HUD because it can glitch between gears.
Okay.
I mean, it would if his first gear is set up in a certain way, it makes sense. But
Yeah, I think at the chicane it's interesting. Or the hell of the course, personally.
Jack's still unable to get through on Howling.
I know Finley's got a penalty here, but I mean these guys in front can still get one, and he is still staying there. So we know Nick's jumping pace is good, and unfortunately he's had a few events go on this season outside of the racing, hence why he's not been here for a lot of the rounds. But I'm sure next season he'll be here more often. But you know, when he is here, you know, he always provides, he always gets good results, and you can see it in these races here. He's barely been here this season, and the races that he is here, he really does perform. So it's a shame. He is a real championship contender, but you never really get to see it. And Jack picks up a long lap penalty. He's clipped on the outside of the curb there. I watched that, and that is a penalty.
Yeah, Finley did the exact same thing, I'm presuming. So.
And he's actually gone down the thing there. He didn't actually get a warning for that.
So Nick and Craig are the only two riders at the front to not have warning, not have penalty. Sorry.
And Q Gamer.
Yeah, Q Gamer. I'm just talking generally about the riders who can win this race at this point.
Oh, and as you say that, Craig, another warning. He's at risk.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Howling is now under pressure from. And Finley's really wide through turn 2.
Jack is really struggling to get past here, isn't he?
Yeah, Lagoon is just such a very narrow and tight track, and
it's not coming easy. But
the straights just aren't long enough.
The next game, so this will be the last time they'll ever race here.
Bit disappointing.
Yep. For some will be happy about, others maybe not so much. But it's not just this track as well. No Donington, no Westerville, no Indianapolis.
So essentially, all the historical, basically all the historical tracks are going is what we're basically saying.
Yep. And there'll be no Bud either, because that's actually not on the calendar.
Yeah.
And so no cycle, but I don't think anyone's too disappointed by that.
Oh,
Jack's going for a move. My goodness, that was.
Yeah, that was close.
That was something.
Well, we're seeing in turning from losing those historical tracks, you gain the ones for the mini bikes, the flat track, and all the other stuff you can do.
I think that is a good addition. It's a shame we lose some things, but you know what we're gaining is a unique experience. So.
And Nick Jumping's been able to extend the gap back up, well, now to over 1.2 seconds, which might be in correlation to Craig receiving a fourth warning, and he's just turned it a little bit down just to make sure he doesn't pick up a fifth one.
Yep. He won't be at risk to the riders behind. I mean, obviously, no Finley's still there, but in terms of penalties, it's just to see whether Nick in front gets one or not. Finley is catching Craig. I will say that. 6 tenths is the gap. And Jack Bourbon is on 3 warnings again.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jack's problem is simply stuck in dirty air.
Yeah. And it's a problem for everyone really, because you see some riders in some races, you know, in the sprint he has such a good pace, but the moment he's stuck behind someone, and it happens for all riders, it's just, you know, you're stuck in the traffic and you just can't manoeuvre some riders, and it's difficulties, and that's why qualifying is so important. It's what makes the the reverse grid such an interesting feature. You know, the riders at the front, they can't just get away. It gives them an extra challenge that they need to get through.
So when they cross the line, they'll be in the final quarter of the race. Nick's controlled this one brilliantly from the front, reminiscent of his performance in Sepang last season, and also in Kota a couple of seasons ago as well. So
I could be wrong here. I just noticed something on Craig and Finley's bike here. They're like their knee sliders and their gloves. They're both of them have green, and I've never noticed that. Has that always been the case?
That'll be some. Well, definitely Finley's has.
Okay, I've never really paid too much attention, but I didn't actually realise they both use green.
because Finley's got the Alpine Stars like shoulder pad, so it's easy to
Yeah.
tell. Whereas because Craig uses Dainese, it's hard to tell. But we
Yeah.
just have to look. We have to just look through the previous
No, I just
races.
never really paid attention. I only just noticed that they both use green.
So we now start the final quarter of this race. 4 laps remain.
Jack is not closing on Howling anymore.
No, it's. I think that mistake has maybe scared Jack into just thinking, okay, we'll take 5th.
It's a bit of a sludge, and he will take a 1-point lead into Qatar if it remains like this.
And Qatar is a bit different to Laguna in every, it's a lot longer, a lot wider, a lot bigger curbs. It's just no, there's way better runoff, no gravel to really worry about.
Much more spacious, and I think that's what the riders liked.
Yeah, big old long straights, heavy braking zones. They got no real complex corners. They're all one line. So
oh, Finley's wide. Oh my god, I thought he was going to crash then on the gravel. Costing time, but I think he has got slightly better pace than Craig. And when I mean slightly, I mean like a 10th a lap at most.
I'm just curious. Obviously, Finley coming into the last round is going to have the situation of being. He's got his teammate on one side and his brother on the other side. If he's going to choose an alliance with either one of them, or is he going to simply go out for himself? Yeah, if I was him, I'd just go neutral because you can't get involved.
Yeah. And Jack is on 4 warnings. I mean, he's not really affecting anyone behind unless he crashes, because Moyes has got an extra 3-second penalty coming his way anyway. But
Nick's still controlling the gap.
That would kind of rule out the chance of him getting P4.
Yeah, and Finley now half a second behind, so Finley's got some late race pace here, and Craig running quite wide through turn 3.
He has been catching Craig for the last few laps. I've noticed that gap's shrinking by about a 10th a lap on average, and as it stands, he might have a little go in the last 2 laps. He has got a penalty, but if Craig gets one more warning, then,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Craig just sort of lets him through. Just safety precaution.
Yeah, but just then don't get a warning.
Yeah.
And that's easier said than done. The riders in so much of that curb at the chicane, it's scaring me that they're going to crash.
And Finn's picked up another warning, so he's on 3.
Yeah, on that white line on the inside there, I saw that.
So every single rider has got a 3-second penalty, or worse, apart from your 2 leaders.
Oh, Finnick on the grass!
What a save!
God! Oh my god! That was close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Finley might need a trip to the toilet after this one.
I'm just looking at everyone's front tyre right now, because the wear on some people's front tyre compared to others.
Yeah.
And I'm known for having a terrible tyre wear management. For me, it's just awful. Well, look at Q Gamer's front left. And then go and look at Finley's.
Yeah, Finley's. And what's Nick's like out in front? Nick's is alright. But you look at Craig. Craig's is a lot better, I think, compared to most people.
No, Q Gamer has the best and Finley is the worst.
Yeah, Finley loves using his side of the tyre. It seems like he's had that the whole game, and he's either a setup issue or a riding style issue. But
well, you say that I have the exact same thing as Finley, and he'll know. Nick's made a mistake.
That's a big error. That's a big mistake.
Goes down the hill.
And he's lost half. He's lost 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths of a second with that mistake.
So then, can Craig regain another 3 points for his championship cause? He cannot.
Schmoyes is down.
Warning.
So Q Game is going to get Schmoyes.
4 attempts to catch on the final lap. So here we go then. 1 more lap to go. Has he got 4 attempts in his pocket?
Here we go into turn 1.
He's definitely got the tyre wear.
Yeah, and now into turn 2. Nick taking a quite defensive line, it looks like. He doesn't need to defend. Craig's not close enough to attack. Oh, he's at the inside curb as well. It's going to cost him a couple of tenths of a second. He's now going to turn 3. He's done that well. And Craig's really wide. Craig just can't turn into that corner at the moment.
as he powers it out and he shrinks the gap ever so slightly.
Yeah, turn 5 is the classic overtaking spot of this circuit, but Craig's not close enough, so
it's going to have to be in the last sector. He needs to get this section right, though.
He's got to get the run up the whole straight, but
oh my god, he lagged that. Yeah, he was lagged that.
He's down!
Oh, Nick's gone down! Oh,
my inside curb!
Oh, you would not believe it. He's thrown it away on the final lap. It's absolutely devastating.
And Howling Siege is... Well, actually, no, not. Howling Siege isn't going to nick a podium because he's got penalties.
And Nick Jumping gets a 4th warning here. He's only 1 warning away from a penalty. I do not believe it. He's thrown it away. He has rode such a perfect race.
Until the final 2 laps. So the rider's now approaching the final corner. Nick's just going to make sure it doesn't exceed limits. Jack's going to maybe send it there, but Craig, he's been given an absolute lifeline. He's going to win here in America, in Los Angeles, and going to take the championship lead heading into the final round of the season.
2 points. That is absolutely crucial. I cannot believe that. Nick Jumping on the final lap.
He still gets third, though.
I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, just...
He
had it in his hands. He was pushing on that final lap to make sure Craig couldn't get him, and he kissed the inside. It's one of those ones where you need to hit more the inside curb, but he just kissed it on the white line, and the front washed out. And boosted, will he cross the line for his home Grand Prix? I think he just will.
Wow.
So Craig is your victor. Finley second. Nick Jumping. He led for all that time and he crashed in the last lap.
Well.
Yeah. But he still gets 3rd place thanks to penalties. Howling is 4th. Jack is 5th. Q Gamer is 6th. Schmoyes is 7th. And Boosted rounds out the field in 8th.
Yep.
As it seems a cat has joined the party. Yeah. We'll leave their identity anonymous so you can guess who that was. But yeah.
So yeah, we can into the top 3. There will be here.
Yeah.
I don't mind how you do it. I think I done 2 last time, so I can do Finley and you can do Nick and Craig.
All right.
If you'd like to.
Nick, are you here? So Nick, it's your first race in quite a while, and after a pretty unlucky sprint, you did perfect 40 and a half laps, and then you made one error at the corkscrew and on the final lap. Unfortunately, you went down. But what are your feelings after this race? Yeah, well done. Yeah, see you next week.
Yep, a good round by Nick there. He unfortunately ruined it at the end, but he showed good pace and good potential, and it's a good sign leading on to the future rounds. But we'll move on to the 2nd place man now, and that is Finley. You had I'd say quiet race in terms of battles today. You remained 2nd the whole time. You was in and around people the whole time, but you didn't really get involved in too many battles today after the first couple of laps, and you rode around and you was in 3rd for most of the race until Nick Jumping decided on the final lap that he crashed on the inside curve, and it gifted you a nice P2 just. You beat him by 3/10 of a second with the penalty, and yeah, it was a good race for you. And how do you feel after today?
I'm happy, but I'm also disappointed in the same. I think I had the pace to win both races. The sprint, I got a bit messed up at the start, so I couldn't get closer to Jack than I thought, because I had to make my way through a few riders. But once I got into that clean air in front of me, I know the gap started to come down to Jack, so it was obviously In the main race, though, but we took the lead, and then I started to extend the gap, but obviously I went off track. Then after I got the long lap, I started to push a little bit more, which I had the pace to do. I was trying to pressure Craig into a mistake, but caused me to make a mistake as well at the final corner, which kind of ruined my chances, I think, if I can pressure Craig into a mistake and try and win the race. But overall, I'm happy. I took the maximum points out of anyone, I think, this weekend. 2 second places. Into the season as well. I've been on the podium in, I think, in the last 5 races or something. So much better consistency, but I don't think there's a chance of me winning a championship, but I've definitely closed the gap to get 3rd. So I'm happy, and I just want to thank everyone for the support. And I am available for birthday parties if you want to hire me. It's connecting people together. So thank you, everyone, and thanks to the cat as well in the background. And I'm just saying I will not be picking any sides between Jack and Craig unless it comes down to whoever I like more. No, I'm joking. But may the best man win out of them two, and I'm going to make it difficult for both of them because I want to go out with a win. But well done to Nick and Craig today, and Jack in the sprint, and Howlin and Schmoitz and Q Gamer and Minmon, and thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week.
Yep, one more round to go. Your charge for 3rd place in the championship is still on. So good 2nd place there, and good points in the bag for the final race of the whole game next weekend.
Cheers, mate.
And now we go with our winner. He was behind in the championship heading into this round, but thanks to that victory, he now retakes the lead. He takes the lead for the first time since winning the championship last season. Craig, a very up and down 2 races there, but on the last lap you inherited 1st place from Nick, and thanks to that you are now leading the championship by just 2 points. So how do you feel?
Happy to obviously be leading the championship. As you said, it's the first time since I won it to be leading. Sprint was a bit thingy. I couldn't get into rhythm, and then I had Schmoy's pressuring me for quite a bit, which is unlikely. And then obviously I had my accident. Got back on and finished P4. The main race. If it weren't for the red flag at the start, it was done. I think Jack would have had a comfortable lead in the championship. I did have 3 warnings already on the restart, so for 16 laps you can imagine trying to only, if you were going to pick up a warning, only pick at least 1 up. So I picked up 1 warning within 16 laps on the restart. There's plenty of times I was on the curb and I felt the front wanting to go. My heart fell out my ass. I had Finley pressuring me for quite a while until he made a mistake. I was trying to stay with Nick until I got my 4th warning. The gap was staying level, and then he just kept bridging out more and more. And I noticed he made a mistake into the last corner, I think with a couple of laps to go. And then the gap was coming down a little bit, and then onto the last lap, I just thought, I'll just send it. Obviously, I wasn't going to send it to the point where I was going to crash. I wanted to see if I could force him into a mistake. Not saying me trying to force him into a mistake caused him to crash. I just think it's one of those where he took too much curb. But overall, I'm happy. Unfortunately for Jack, obviously, I had a bad sprint. He had a better sprint, and I've had a better main race. He's had a bit of a bad main race. But last round, same as last season. The points are a lot closer though. So yeah, it could go anyway. Shout out to Nick for on his return the podium. Well done to Finley for making it a 1-2 Ducati. Well, factory Ducati, sorry. But other than that, I'm happy. I'm gonna go and chill out now because. But yeah, we'll see everyone next week, I guess.
Yeah, so well done, and well, I wish you and Jack both the best of luck, and hopefully it's a good, fair fight.
Yeah, hopefully.
So that is
We'll
it.
have to see next week.
Yeah, that is it for round number 7. One final round that it takes place next Sunday. And interesting, just looking at the championship standings there, that's the first time this
I
season.
mentioned this.
Yeah, you mention it.
Yep, it's the first time Jack has finished off the podium when he has finished a race this season in P5. Every other round, he's finished on the podium when he's finished the race Yesterday
Yeah.
was the first round, so not the way he wants to go into next week with, but I'm sure he'll bounce back.
So it's not all plain sailing, but we'll have to just wait and see what happens next week. Will it be back-to-back titles for Craig, or will Jack take his first ever title? And Qatar, if you go back and watch season 6 in Division 2, you can see the kind of racing we can get produced when a title fight is on the line. So hopefully we get a really good cracking race at the end of the season.
Yes, Qatar can provide some good racing. We've had many races around there, including races that have gone down to just a few thousandths across the line. So if that ultimately decides the championship, that would be great.
So that's it for today, and we'll see you guys next week for the final. Goodbye.